Hard Bop Masterclass on Steeplechase, a Ghetto Lullaby by Jackie McClean. This is an inner city, but both iterations are fairly affordable. Recorded only a year after this with a very similar lineup, so a very critically acclaimed Steeplechase record. But this is a bit more raw. Jackie's more aggressive, he's more emotive, and in ways I prefer this one more. Anyway, can't get much better than this for 15 bucks, so if you don't have this yet, worth checking out. Fire warning here from Lucky Thompson. Wonderful album, I Offer You. Very mellow. Cedar Walton on the electric keys gives this whole thing a lot of warmth with an otherwise acoustic rhythm section that's pretty squarely rooted in the bop language. So very much swinging, but also atmospheric and introspective at times. Not what you'd expect from a Sonny Lester label like Groove Merchant, but a 10 out of 10 in my book. Very cheap as well. Check this out. Interesting album from Buster Williams on Muse, and far less expensive than his other titles on the label. Each side of this is sort of bookended by solo bass playing from Williams, and then it goes in all of these interesting directions, incorporating violin and cello as dreamlike tracks like Pygmy Lullaby that feature these beautiful vocals and compositions. If you're looking for something different, which I always am, this is definitely worth picking up. This is Opening Remarks by Ted Dunbar on Xanadu, a label that tends to have a heavy bend toward bop. So if you're not into fusion or crossover stuff, and some people aren't, this is a great label to explore and was a real home to guys like Sam Jones, Al Cohn, Charlie McPherson. I mean, look at the lineup on this cover. Everything on this is original by Ted, who has a sort of special tone when he plays. Sounds a lot like, at least in terms of tone, he sounds a lot like Wes Montgomery, right? More muted and soft. I guess Dunbar was one of the other few players who played with his thumb. But overall, very laid back, enjoyable, fun for the whole family at 10 bucks. I picked this up recently as well. This is Ted Dunbar with Kenny Barron on Muse in Tandem. This is a duet live session recorded in '75. They play off each other very, very well, and in no small part due to Kenny Barron, who's able to play with anyone in any setting, so versatile. Highlight on this is the first track, Summertime, as well as this exquisite cover. I mean, you can't get much better than this. Come on. The Word from Mose, great. Easily found Mose Allison record. He was such a singular talent. No one is really quite like him. Some of my favorite songs are on this. Don't Forget to Smile, Fool Killer, New Parchment is on this. This is a later release, but any iteration is very affordable. I try not to share reissues unless the original is also inexpensive, with some exceptions. Anyway, The Word from Mose, great record. I find this record all the time completely destroyed, and I suspect it's because this was a big DJ record, right? It's all these crazy breakbeats from Idris Muhammad on this album. So visceral, everything is so funky, much more than a soul jazz record, right? George Freeman is also great on this. This is a record that if you're digging and you see, I recommend picking up. New Improved Funk on Groove Merchant, fun record. This is a Green Label Prestige. I think the OG came out on the purple just a year before, but both are pretty affordable, well recorded by RBG. And as I've said before, if you can resist the record collecting dogma on these green labels, they're cheap because no one wants them, and they're almost always clean and quiet. Anyway, this is a good one to wait to find in the wild. Just a visionary, creative album from Jack DeJohnette's Special Edition Ensemble. This is on ECM. This is perhaps more on the avant-garde side, at times a little free, but there's a through line, right? Similar to those Tony Williams Blue Note albums. There's a structure rather than just kind of cacophonous open form, but very multi-dimensional, pulling from different themes in jazz history. Demonstrates what a great composer DeJohnette is, in addition to his prolific drumming abilities. Very inexpensive, contemporary sounding album, worth checking out. Certified cheap heat here. I mean, for those who know. On Kudu, the title track Wildflower being the big hit here for Crawford, which is just, it's the jam, right? It's a classic. I come back to this from time to time, but overall, even for me, this is getting pretty slick. This is pretty arranged. It may be even a little cheesy at times, but I think this is cheese to be embraced. Very inexpensive. If you see it, give it a shot. Underrated debut from drummer Michael Carvin, the Camel. This is one of those where the steeplechase release is just going to be more expensive, right? And the inner city counterpart is more affordable. So I'm sort of breaking the rule I specified earlier. But at least here in the States, 90% of the time, you're going to find the inner city release. And that's a good thing, right? Because it gives us access to all these great albums that were initially released in Europe and Japan and elsewhere. But at the same time, it's worth noting that these are usually cheaper for a reason, right? This is an inferior product. Steeplechase releases are just a better quality than inner city, which can be a little bit of a minefield in terms of pressing quality. But that doesn't stop me. I always pick up interesting titles on inner city, but it is a bit of a buyer beware in that the steeplechase release should be prioritized, whether it be Denmark, Japan, or otherwise. Great album, by the way. Check it out. Two of the greats, Larry and Philip Catherine, playing an acoustic duet. You can get this for next to nothing. Very easy to find. This is on Elektra. By the way, I get yelled at quite a bit. Some people call them the vinyl police. I call them good vinyl Samaritans who correct me that I'm not handling my records the right way. And while I don't care, because life is too short, God forbid some young, bright-eyed collector sees this and begins mishandling their records and turning to drugs and alcohol and ruining their life. So just a note to all those kids out there, don't do what I do. Don't turn to a life of crime. Anyway, good record. Check it out. This is one of the best releases of Woody Shaw's time on Columbia, and this comes right after his Muse sessions, which are a lot more expensive and sought after. This alternatively is quite cheap, right? Obviously, this is a white label promo. I think I got this for under $10. So a pretty essential pickup, in my opinion. If you're digging and you see this, you should absolutely get it. Anyway, that's all I got for today, folks. If you watch this channel from time to time, please do take a second to subscribe and like. Otherwise, I'll catch you on the flip side.